Do you know your role in this fight? I have been thinking about that for, well, basically this year, right? Um, Especially as people became very insistent that everyone should take to the streets. I'm black, in case y'all haven't noticed. That's not the best strategy for me at this time. Simply because I'm sure y'all can tell now. I'm sure y'all can tell that it should be very transparent and apparent that they are deliberately baiting black people for that reason. If you hadn't noticed, all the cities he's talking about going to had like black mayors and are known to be filled with black people, not immigrants. Like, really? Okay. And if you look to history, people had their roles and they weren't always frontline roles. Let's talk about Harriet Tubman, right? And she was kind of badass. Very. But she was the only one who could do her particular role. But others had something else to play too. The Underground Railroad had several pit stops. So there were people who had to man those places. There were people who had to put the signposts out, or the quilts out, or any kind of signal of which way to go. Those things had to be out. Then you had people whose job it was to cook the food, make sure that people were nourished. You had people who had to look after clothes and make sure people were properly prepared to cross the line into Canada. Like, that's not the South, not weather-wise. So everybody had their role. And so in this time, I've been thinking, like, what are our roles? You see, I was watching just recently a stand-up segment by Josh Johnson, and he was talking about the whole Target thing, about how the boycott that we're doing today is way different than the boycotts we did in the 60s. Because in the 60s, it required our presence, like you had to visibly see us in order to know that we were actually boycotting. But now it is our absence that is strategy, that is loud, because it's tanking the stock market and it's tanking their profit shares. So things are just a little bit different than the 60s, but apparently no less impactful. Okay, so tonight I was listening to Raven-Symoné's podcast with her wife, and they had Alyson Stoner on there. And Alyson Stoner had gotten some certifications in amazing things, but she brought up this thing that I never heard of before. I forgot what she called it, but when I did the Google search, what did she call it? She called it the map of social change. So when I went to looking, I actually did find it, and it is the social change ecosystem map. Let me show you. Now, this map was created by Deepa Iyer. I think that's how you say it. So she's South Asian American writer, lawyer, strategist, facilitator, and activist. This is the map. Okay, so this framework has 3 components: ecosystems, values, and roles, right? So in order to achieve the social change that we need, the social justice we need, it's going to require people to fulfill different roles. Let's go over these roles. And I want you to tell me in the comments, what's your role? Is it a combination, or is it very squarely one of those things? Okay, so real quick, ecosystem is going to be essentially like where you have some community. All right, that's going to be home, a place or space that feels safe, a sense of belonging, blah, blah, blah. You'll get that. Values are, what do we believe in? What do we stand on? And this is obviously where we had differences in November. Major differences. So we clashed big time. And clashes are quite common in social change movements. So that's where we are. So again, the roles, we're going to go over these roles, but let me zoom you in. Okay, so these roles, we have storytellers, guides, weavers, experimenters, frontline responders, visionaries, builders, caregivers, disruptors, and healers. Let's look at her quick breakdown. Okay, so weavers, these are the ones who see the through line of connectivity between people, places, and ideas, organization, etc. So my guess is, um, actually, I don't even need to guess. Let's just take a look at this a little bit bigger. How about that? Because your girl is 46 years old. So a weaver, oh, I mean, it's the same thing that she just said. Basically, I think this is going to be what threads, society together here. Not society, but change agents together here. The through lines of connectivity between the people. So you might be the home, I'm guessing, where people come. I wonder if she goes deeper. I got to watch something on this, actually. Oh, she has a quiz. I got to watch something. I think I'll see if I can put this on there. I'll just do a screenshot and then I'll put it over this so that you guys can do it. Okay. So this is her, what do you call this thing? So here we go. This is better. All right. So this says a weaver, her presentation. Let me finish that thought. So Weaver connects people, funding sources, and organizations across the country to get people elected and ballot initiatives passed. So when Lady K was put forward, there were weavers who put together those groups for fundraising. So that was really dope, right? Then you have the caregiver. These are the ones who are giving you the nourishment, the water. They're telling you what to do when you are at a sang party, how to take care of yourself, and things of that nature. Then you have a lot of us here are storytellers. So we are documenting the experiences and speaking out on those things. Right? So we craft and share our community stories and cultures, experiences and histories, possibilities through art, music, media, and movement. So again, a lot of us here are doing this. The people who are making the music, the people who are doing the art, the people who were dancing during one of the sign parties. That's who people are. Experimenters, these are the ones who innovate, pioneer, invent. So whoever came up with the flotilla, for instance, that's going to be one of our experimenters. They take the risk and they course correct when needed. All right. Then we have our frontline responders, our people who put their signs together and went walking with their voices and their bodies. So these people address the community crisis by marshaling and organizing resources, networks, and messages, showed up at the town halls, etc. The visionaries, these are the ones who put together, say, 5051 or ETA. They imagine and generate the boldest possibilities, hopes, and dreams and remind us of our direction. I think storytellers and visionaries can definitely cross. I think this would be like our 4 a.m. community. Okay, the builders. They develop, organize, and implement these ideas, practices, people, and resources in service of a collective vision. Okay, so these are the people who actually put it together. Then we have, like I said, the caregivers. They're the ones who are going to keep the spirits up. Then you have the disruptors. These are the people who are there to shake it up. Okay? They take the uncomfortable and risky actions to shake it up, to raise awareness, to build power. Those are some people on here too, but I'm asking you guys, please don't crash out because we need you. Take time away. Healers, again, we recognize the generational and current traumas. Again, this could be our 4 a.m. clubbers, like I said, the storytellers, and then the guides. The guides, I think storytellers and guides and visionaries and healers, like those could interweave. But these are our roles. It's not your job to do everything. You got to get in community. Find your role.